Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Hambel from PS 457, which is an elementary school in District 9 in the Bronx. I appreciate this opportunity. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there today, but I wanted to share some of my classroom management strategies and how I manage with student behavior. So I think it's all about perspective, which is important. As you as a teacher, having students understand perspective for themselves, for each other, is their mind full or are they mindful? And this is something that I've talked about with my students, and I'm noticing a lot of more organic situations where they go out of their way to help another person. And it's just been wonderful. So this is just something to think about. And we've probably all heard about the word in term mindfulness, but this is something that is really true. And when you make it a part of your practice and your environment, it really pays off. This is also some of the good things to know for students with trauma, and just understanding for all students that trauma leads to internal war, that they might be calm on the inside and they might be listening. There might be 1,000 other things going on. And all behaviors do serve a purpose, and don't take behavior personally. One of my favorite things to say is when a student says, I'm sorry, I say, I know it's not personal, just try this, try X, Y, and Z to do better. And that usually helps. One of my favorite books that I've ever read is called Teaching with Love and Logic. It's not a lesson behavior management like system. It's more like a philosophy. Like one of the things you see over here, it says, I will treat you with respect so that you know how to treat me. And that really just speaks volumes because the students, I'm talking nice and calm like I am now. And a lot of times when I speak loud, like I'm in my gym right now, a lot of sometimes they get scared, and I have to say to them, and I'm to be transparent and say, I'm not upset or anything. I'm just talking loud. We have a loud room. And that little things like that. And you can see over here, I wish I had more time to explain more in depth, but they are all part of creating like a brave space, which I'll talk a little bit more later. And my favorite last one is, if you feel that something is unfair, whisper to me, I'm not sure that's fair. And that also speaks great because especially some of my older students who, well, when we first started doing it, a lot of sometimes, as you know, sometimes the competitive environment, emotions are running high, they want to argue, they're not happy, they're unfair about something. But when you're calm and you say, I don't argue during the day, if you want to talk about it, you could do it fair. But if you want to argue, one of the things from Love and Logic, it says, if you want to argue, we could make an appointment for, I could do it at recess or after school. And for me, nobody's ever made an appointment, but they understand because that if they treat and they talk to me in a fair, kind tone, I'm usually very able to talk, and we were able to work it out. Like I said before, brave space, safe space physically, that they feel confident, that they're feeling brave, honest, open mind, that even just for a student to say, I don't know, like when they get stuck after they raise their hand, it's amazing because this way they feel comfortable, and it just really speaks to the kind environment. This is great because so many times I'm sure you've had where students come up to you and say, this person did that, or I didn't get a turn. And it's important for them to understand that they're not upset most of the time at the person, they're upset at what happened. So it's important for them to say, I feel when you please. Like, I feel upset when you take too many turns, please play fairly. And that's okay. And this is a great way for them to understand because, as I also say, feelings are just like visitors that come and go. But how do we handle them? Because it's okay not to be okay, but how do we handle it? And these are good ways and good practices to do so. This is another thing I'm also always try to be aware about communicating with students and with parents, my actions, my words, expressions. A lot of times, especially with students, sometimes they just don't understand. Do I need to scaffold it? Do I need to teach it? Do I need to make a parallel? I always like to do parallel examples. And a lot of times, like I said before, whether me talking loud or talking like this, calm, just that could be, or even could make a big difference in terms of whether a student is engaged and wants to buy in and wants to learn more, or sometimes maybe they're kind of just like, wait, he's so loud, I don't know. But a lot of times they will see the difference as they get to know me, that it's usually just coming from a great place, and I'm coming from a place to try to motivate them. All these are just three important concepts to understand and think about. This is one of my favorite games, I want to say games. It's a bowler's ed specialist, one of the bowler's ed curriculum, and this is one of my own spin on it, bowling pun. It's great for large groups. each person has a job, each person gets a turn. So this way now we're doing a bowling unit now. So we go from one turn, they get to 2 turns now. We're doing the bowling bookmark game. But everyone, this is a good visual because it appeals to all learners, and it's also just good. You could print it out, put it up, and students can refer to it as they go. And that's just it's a little teacher helper. So this way I can work with another group, or I could do something else, and the students can refer to it. And it's also all in the name of autonomy. So this way students feel empowered, because at the end of the day, it's always best to assume best intent. And that if you give them, these are the tools, if you help them understand that they can do it on their own, and they can do it, and they can be successful, this just helps them get there. I want to say I apologize that I'm not able to be there today, but I thank you for the opportunity to present and share. I hope to hear more about what works for you, and because that helps me grow too myself. Thank you so much.